Hello, I'm Michelle Ogborn of Ogborn Law, and I'm an attorney here in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Christine Reich with Restorative Law and Mediation. I'm an attorney and also a social worker communication coach.
So one of the things we're going to talk about today is the benefit of the collaborative process, being able to, as parents, focus on building a plan for how you're going to parent the children going forward while recognizing their developmental needs, which are unique to every child and every family. One of the things I often find that is a huge disadvantage in litigation is there is little to no time or attention spent on what do the kids need in this process so that they can have their best future. So Christine, talk to me a little bit about how you help families build those plans while recognizing what their children need.
Great question. I find that oftentimes when parents are entering into this process, needless to say, it is very stressful, and sometimes that stress can be very consuming to them, to the extent that they care deeply about their children, but sometimes they feel very consumed by the process. So in the role of a communication coach, and also sometimes I serve as a child specialist, that I can help them begin to consider some things that maybe because it's so overwhelming, they may have overlooked. So some of those issues may include the spending time with each of the parents. You know, what are their needs around that? What are their school needs? What are, you spoke about developmental needs. So what may be incorporated in a parenting plan for a 2-year-old may be very different for a 16-year-old.
Right.
And these are things that we can consider in the process.
Yeah, and again, I think it's a fantastic opportunity when we have someone with your background, skills, and training that you can serve in that capacity as a communication coach or a child specialist. I know I've had a few cases where we've had to use you in both roles so that you could help assess and talk to the children, ask them what it is that they need in the process, and then bring the family together and let the parents know, hey, if you're going to put this parenting plan together, your kids are asking that it be structured in a way that grants this need for them, which is something you're never going to see in the court system. And I love that because those kids then thrive in that situation, which is counterintuitive to what you expect in a divorce.
You know, and lastly, what I'll share is that when I have done interviews with children, the first thing I do is, as I meet them, is I tell them how proud they should be of their parents, that they're engaging in this process because they deeply care about you being heard as well. And that always goes very well and sets up the process for success.
Yeah, so I think that's great if you're dealing with families where they do have young children and they want to make sure they're honoring the wishes of their children and making their children part of a process. Again, the collaborative process is the way to go because it's the only process out there that's going to allow your children to have a voice in the process.
Couldn't agree more.